Hey, everybody. There's Jeff. Bakersfield must be like 1,000 degrees there today. Maybe we should do the test today. Who's got the highest temperature weather in their neighborhood? It's hot enough here, Long Beach. $109. That's hot. Oh, Lloyd might win 113. Unless we have somebody from Death Valley. Isaac, yes, I do know, Mr. Hermione. It was 130 yesterday, yes. Yeah, Isaac, I know him. Real nice guy, Mondello. David, why don't I use Shimano products? I don't know. It's a little personal. It's like the last 5-6 years I tried to get meetings with them at this convention we go to at ICAST, and they wouldn't even give me a meeting. So lots of people, they say no, but they at least give me a meeting. And I couldn't even get anybody at Shimano to say, hey, Dan, come in the booth, let's have a meeting. So they don't want to talk to me. I don't use their products. I don't talk about their products. I talk about lots of products that companies I don't work with, but they're all friendly to me. So that's the only reason I say that. Lois, you like that episode? That's cool. People already wants food. So someone grab a hot dog. Have I ever worked with Abbott? No. But at least they're friendly to me. I'd like to work with them. Haven't had any luck. And I'm sure the people at Shimano are great people. I just haven't had any luck working with them. Okay, Norman. Yeah, that video that you guys saw from the Excalibur was not filmed this year. So before I get a whole bunch of hate mail for no social distancing, no masks, no nothing, that was over a year ago. So you don't have to worry about that. So tomorrow I have a half-day trip, a local trip. Should be good. The fishing we had the other day was really good. And from some of the skippers I talked to, fishing's got even better. And then the next day, Thursday, is our trip on the Gale Force. I don't know if we have one spot left on that or if it's sold out. And then the What's the other one? And then Sunday I have a private charter. So if anyone's interested in a private charter for Friday or Saturday, I'm available. Do you have his number? That's a good question. Do I have David's number? I don't have it here. I do have his number. So if you want to send me an email and ask me for his number, I will forward it to David. And, if you want to have his number, he'll give it to you. But you can email me at, here's my personal email address. I don't mind if you guys have it. And here we go. So you can email me there, put on there that it's, that you want to get David's phone number, email address, and I'll forward it off to him. And I was surprised I do have his phone number. That's good. He's a real nice guy. What else? Kevin. Oh, I was on Storage Wars again the other night. Most of my family out of state don't know that much about me in the TV show. They know I'm on TV, but they don't think like I'm a person on TV. I'm just some guy that goes fishing. But when they saw me on Storage Wars, they thought I was like a celebrity. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, Jeff, the yellowfin are scattered everywhere. I've heard them all around, outside the island, inside the island, in the gap. If I was heading farther offshore, I'm sure we'd run into them, but trip tomorrow is just 5 hours. It's just a half-day trip, so I'm sure we'll be catching barracuda, calico bass, sand bass, sculpin, and maybe yellowtail. They caught some yellowtail locally today, so hopefully we'll get some yellowtail. Al, did I just fart? No, I was chewing on ice. That's the sound of ice. Hi, Pablo. So I guess I should just name these little episodes Dan and April. Hello, Manuel. Let me see. No problem, Ellie. The Komodos work good. I like the Lexas and the Komodos. They're not advertisers. They don't sponsor me. The marketing guy for Kuma isn't friendly to me, but everybody else at Kuma is. So I appreciate that the rest of the guys are nice. Sales guy, I don't know why. Marketing guy, I don't know why he doesn't like me, but everybody kind of like you. So hopefully, as we get toward the end of the year, I can start approaching a bunch of companies and see if we can get some sponsors for next year because I'm going to need them. It's been a really brutal year with COVID. People that were going to sponsor all dropped out. People that were sponsoring canceled contracts. It's just been a brutal year with COVID. So luckily, I've been doing a bunch of private charters, so I've been able to pay some of the bills. But hopefully we can get through that. Yeah, Kuma was a sponsor before. Penn was a sponsor before. Shakespeare was a sponsor before. So that's life. That's the way it goes. Nothing lasts forever. So hopefully we can survive a couple more years. So we'll see. If any of you are looking for a private charter for Friday or Saturday, here are my rates. And we could go offshore and go look for tuna. We can stay local, go catch bass. Anything's possible. So whatever you like to do. What do you think, April? She's happy. She's wiggling her tail. Have I ever fished surface iron for white sea bass? I can honestly say no, I've never used a surface iron trying to catch white sea bass. I don't know if anybody ever used a surface iron to try to catch white sea bass. I catch a lot of white sea bass on bucktails. Bucktail with the whole squid, deadly, because they're usually down deeper. But to throw a surface jig, like Magic Middle Light for white sea bass, I've never tried that. Jeff, you ever did that? You ever throw a surface jig for white sea bass? I don't know. So Tyler, you used a fly rod surf fishing. Is that Bosa Chica? Use a fly rod with a Kuma reel. Had a whole spool of line. What did you hook that you got spooled in 1 second? Surf fishing? I guess it could be a big halibut or white sea bass. Thanks, Rich. Yeah, I've never tried using a surface jig for white sea bass. I've used a lot of heavier jigs with squid on them and bucktails, but I've never tried that. Yeah, Kevin, you're right. It could have been a bat ray, stingray. I don't know. Maybe Tyler caught the first tuna surf fishing in Southern California. Took off and spooled them. That sounds good, Cameron. There isn't much bluefin tuna in the counts anymore. So you guys were lucky when you got them. Looks like it's going to switch over to yellowfin here soon. And with this second hurricane coming up right now, and it's going to be close to coastline, I'm looking for a lot more Dorado and a lot more yellowfin tuna coming in. Some friends of mine caught caught Dorado yesterday. Close. Really close. They were less than 15 miles off Long Beach, and they caught them. Not even to the island. So that was really good. Roland, how do I like the Komodo compared to Alexa? I think they both are pretty comparable. I like the feel of the Alexa better. I like the way it feels in my hand a little better. I like their power handle better. Komodo did come out with a new power handle, and I don't have that one yet, but maybe I'll try that. Yeah, Cameron, I don't think you have an idea how many Dorado you're going to see coming. There's going to be a lot more Dorado coming up this way. I know one of the boats in San Diego had limits today of Dorado and Yellowtail, so I think that hurricane is going to be pushing up a lot more warm water, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're fishing the oil rigs here in the next couple of days, next week, catching Dorado and maybe even tuna around the oil rigs. Who knows? How far north do you think the yellowfin will be up? I think they'll go up to the Channel Islands. I mean, if the water doesn't get too cold up that way, but I think they'll go up to Osborne towards Santa Barbara Island. Probably be outside by Cortez and Tanner and San Nick. So I don't know. But yeah, some of the boats. Who was it today? They got them really good. Not the Old Glory. Who was it? Let me see here on the website. Oh, it was the Sea Adventure 80. Mike got he had a 2-day trip, and they had 2-day limits of yellowtail and Dorado. So that's good. That's really good fishing. Oh, so you guys asked for a raffle again, so we have a raffle. These are the raffle prizes over my shoulder there. So if any of you are interested, I think we only have like 4 people bought tickets last time. So we have that. Tyler, do you know any overnight or 3/4 day boats that caught mahi mahi? I would think right now any of the 3/4 day boats out of San Diego have a shot at them. I think it's still going to be a few days before the 3/4 day boats up here might get them. I don't know, maybe the Enterprise will get a shot at them tomorrow, and the freelance in those boats. And they travel out to the island. They might find a cow patty loaded with them. I've heard of people finding cow patties in the last week with Dorado on them, but they just weren't biting. Yeah, I don't know about the 9 Mile Bank, but I would think Dorado, Yellowtail, Yellowfin might be in that area. Haven't been there. Joseph, any experience with options out of Long Beach? I have not been on the boat. I do know the owner and the skipper and the second skipper. The second skipper is an old friend. He used to run the Tomahawk, and I think he ran the El Dorado for a while too. Nice guy. So nothing bad to say about those guys. I've just personally not fished on the boat. Wes has a really nice boat. Looks like a great boat. And if I got invited, I would be on it. But I haven't been on that boat. If you're looking for a 6-pack boat, that'd probably be a great 6-pack boat to go on. Yeah, Harold, I don't quite remember that one, but I remember those years that we used to catch albacore out here. But those years that we caught those albacore, the water wasn't as hot as it is today. This, you know, when I was out yesterday, the day before, it was 69. And that was right off the beach. It was 69 degrees. It's probably over 70 now. It's in the 70s, I would think. K1 has a quick question. Hello, Dan had a quick question. 20-pound leader or 25-pound leader? Should I use for large yellowtail? Use 20-pound. But yeah, if it's a big yellowtail, you don't want to fish lighter than 30. You're not going to, you might get lucky and land one on 20-pound, but if they're big yellowtail, fish 30. A piece of 30-pound fluorocarbon would help out. David, yeah, we have a bunch of new episodes. I have to look on the app and see if I posted them on there yet. But we've had, I think the last month, every week was a brand new episode. So when I get a chance here in the next few days, I will make some masters of those episodes and get them up on the app for you. Remind me on Tuesday if you don't see them up there. Oz is asking, when is the ideal time to use a 3-way swivel? I guess rock fishing would be the only time I would use it. I would never use it for tuna fishing, calico bass fishing. Rock fishing would be the only time. That's just to keep your line from spinning all the time. Yeah, we have a trip in September on the Legend. I think we have a couple of spots left. I haven't looked, but I'm not sure if it's sold out, but I think we do have a couple of spots left on that one. Yeah, I would think September would be an all yellowfin month. Yellowfin and Dorado. So Chango wants to know my favorite fish to catch and why. Okay, Tyler, I understand the whole fly rod thing. Okay, so Tyler, I use an old fly rod too for surf fishing, but I had it rewrapped so it has spinning rod guide. So I'm not sure if you did that or if you're just using a fly rod with the small guides in it. But I had my rod rewrapped with guides for a spinning rod, and that's how I use a 9-foot rod for surf fishing. Okay, so back to the other question. Chango, favorite fish to catch and why? My favorite fish to go fishing, like to just get on the boat and go, is calico bass. Part of the reason that I like it, because especially before when the limits were 10, I personally think it takes a lot more skill to limit out a 10 calico bass every trip than it does to catch a 100-pound tuna. And the reason I say that is calico bass during the day will just switch. They'll want a live bait for a few hours. They'll want dead bait. They might want squid. They might want artificial. You might be able to catch them good on a bucktail for a couple hours. Then they want a surface bait. They're always changing. At every trip, it's changing. So it's not like, surf fishing where you're going to go catch barred perch and you're going to use a camel worm on a Carolina rig, and you don't have to worry about reading any other tackle because that's all you're going to use. And with calicos, yeah, you can get on a bite where it's all just live bait fishing, but really they like to bite all kinds of different lures and different baits, and they get really active So I like to catch them. I also enjoy catching white sea bass because they taste so good. But calico bass taste good too. And I don't have a problem keeping a calico bass or two. I don't keep, limits of calico bass anymore. But if I'm going to eat one in the next day or two that week, most of the calico bass I catch never make it to the freezer because I just keep a couple, and I might eat one that day or the day after and the day after that, and then I'll go catch some more. So, but I do like catching calico bass, and when I'm down in Baja, I like catching marlin. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like catching marlin, but I do like catching marlin. Cameron, Jeff has a very big boat. A big boat. He takes lots of his clients out fishing. He has pretty important clients that like to go catch big tuna, so that's what he takes them. Also, Jeff, you got Bull Dorado today? That's cool. How far out did you guys go? I'm guessing you guys went south. So, Kaz, on the overnight boats, some of the boats are limiting the number of people on the boat. I haven't been on a boat yet where they limited the bunks to half the bunks for the people. I haven't seen that. And now that more and more boats are running, more and more people on the boats, I don't think you're going to see that. So, the only thing they're really doing in the bunk room is they are cleaning a lot in between trips, and the boats aren't providing the bedding anymore. You have to bring your own pillow, your own bedding. Some of the boats do have it for sale. When we were on the Excalibur the other day, if you didn't have your own bedding, you could pay them $25, and they would sell you a pillow and a blanket, and it was yours. At the end of the trip, you took it with you, or you throw it in the trash can. But they don't. So they don't do that. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Hopefully, you're feeling better. So one of the things I see sometimes, you guys, on fishing trips, and I saw this on one of my private charters the other day, and I saw this on my trip on the Island Spirit. I don't know if it's the guys in the tackle stores that are giving you bad advice, but some of you, I see your reels, and they're filled with spectra. They're filled with spectra, and instead of just using a small piece of fluorocarbon, and when I say small piece, I mean like half the length of your rod. That way the knot from the connection between the spectra and the fluorocarbon isn't in your guides. On some of the people I've seen fishing recently, when they go to cast, they get a terrible backlash because the store that did the line for them put on a piece of fluorocarbon that's long, that's like maybe 20 feet or even 15 feet, something like that. And it's too long in that when you go to cast, the knot hits your guides and the reel's still spinning and you get a terrible backlash. And I've seen that last couple of trips I've been on. So I really, really want to tell you guys, if you're going to put fish off spectra, then just use a small piece, half the length of your rod, of fluorocarbon, so that the knot isn't even touching your end tip guide. And if you're going to be fishing a lot of live bait, I really suggest you put a lot more monofilament, at least 50 yards, 75 yards of monofilament on there. And that way, you have enough monofilament that when you cast out, you never get to the knot, and your line will cast out good, and that monofilament's going to swim really good. The monofilament is going to make your bait swim better in the water, and it's going to do a lot better. If you have just straight spectra out there, that spectra floats on the surface, and your poor little sardine or anchovy has to drag all that spectra on the surface and try to go down, and it's really hard for it to do it. So that's why I really like to emphasize to you guys that you need to have some monofilament on your reel so that your live bait can swim better. So it makes a big difference. Joe, what brand fluorocarbon do you recommend? I really don't. I don't work with any line companies. I wish I did, but I don't. Hey, Vaughn, how you doing? Fellow oiler. Yeah, you don't go fishing enough. You go surfing all the time. You need to go fishing. Hey, Bo, how you doing? Okay, Eric, good. And Eric, I sent out emails today for that trip on Thursday on the gale force, so hopefully you got it. You got to be on the boat by 5:30. And same as all the other trips, you need to have a mask to get on the boat. Chango, ideal rod and reel combo for 20 to 30 pound tuna. You want a rod rated for 30-pound S line, and you want a reel that can handle it, and you can use something small like a Lexa or a Komodo will work out fine for those small fish. Yeah, Jeff, I've been watching these guys on trips. You know, they got beautiful gear and they go cast, and as soon as they make the cast, their reels just backlash really bad. And I watched two of the guys, especially on the trip I was on the Island Spirit. You know, we're casting out for the barracuda and calicos, and the guys were just trying to cast out really hard, and that knot would hit their guide, and boom, big old, you know, backlash. And I try to tell them, you know, let's either cut your fluorocarbon down so it's only, you know, 4 feet or something, or 3 feet, and then, or let's put some monofilament on your reel and get rid of some of the spectrum. You know, they're in the heat of the fishing. They don't want to change anything. So that happens. Yeah, Jeff Vaughn loves to go surfing, and he loves VW vans. But you are to big boats, he is to VW vans. He's got a couple of pretty ones. Rich, for tuna fishing, you don't want a 9-foot rod. 8-foot rod would be okay for the smaller tuna, but you don't want 8-foot rod for 100-pound fish. For the smaller fish, it's fine. Trisha, no, I've never been invited to go fishing in Washington. Maybe somebody invites me, I can come up there. Trisha, do you watch my TV show up there? Because I know I get a bunch of emails from people from Washington. I think up there we are on Comcast Sportsnet. I don't know, maybe it's Cox Cable too, but I think it's Comcast Sportsnet up there. Have I ever fished a Top Gun 80? Yeah, I fished it a bunch of times. Fished at Guadalupe Island too. Vince, when it comes to being on a sport boat, the farther you can get your bait away from the boat, the better you're going to be, the more fish you're going to catch. If all you can do is put your reel in free spool and drop it right next to you, you're not going to catch that many fish. So I would practice casting, go to a park, do something like that, or you can also go and just use a spinning rod if that's the only thing you're comfortable with. Yeah, Tyler, I think it's cheaper to, and I would go price it out, but I would think it would be cheaper to get a fly rod that you already own and have it rewrapped the way you want it. There's a guy in here that wraps rods really good, Mario. I think his name's Robert in here. I don't think he's here today. He was on charter with me Sunday with his daughter and son-in-law. He wraps rods, so look for Robert when we do these. He's normally here Tuesdays and Thursdays, and he could probably give you a good price for wrapping rods. By day, he drives trucks for UPS, and in the evening, he likes to wrap rods. He was wrapping rods for some tackle shops too. I don't know if he still does. Hey, we got our guy here from the Philippines. Hello. Mike, you live in Monterey and you can't seem to hook up a halibut. I would say try to find some structure, some rocks or something, and don't necessarily fish the rocks, but fish the edge of the rocks and drift for halibut. I would think up there it'd be easy to catch halibut. I would think in the bays too. I mean, we catch a lot of halibut up in San Francisco Bay, but I would think in Monterey Bay you would be able to get them too. So. Oh, you want to see the items for the raffle? All right, so here's the raffle items. Got a surface jig, a magic metal jig, some sort of squid jig, some storm soft baits, some big hooks, a small bait that you can use for surf fishing, a small bucktail, and another magic metal jig. All this for $5. For one ticket, $5. This thing isn't included. It only moves during daylight. Yeah, when you're on a sport boat, you can troll. I mean, when I was younger, we used to do that all the time. We would take a rod and bring rod straps and just troll going across the channel and stuff. So you could do that. So here's a raffle ticket thing again, guys, if any of you are interested. You can do that. If anyone's interested in private charter for this weekend for Friday or Saturday, I'm really surprised I have Saturday available, but I do. Sunday's booked. I don't know why Sundays are so popular. I could probably book 4 charters on a Sunday. Everybody calls wants a Sunday. And we do have a open party trip that is the end of the month. I want to say it's the 30th. Yeah, we have a trip on the 30th. It was sold out, and now one of the guys that was on the boat, he had 2 tickets. It's an overnight trip. It's not overnight. It's a day trip to Catalina, departing at 7 a.m. And he fell off the ladder, so he can't go. So if anyone's interested in that trip, it's going to be on August 30th. I'm not sure that's a Saturday or Sunday. So here's a link to that one. How much is that trip? That's a good question. So if you click on where it says it's $400, $405. That includes the city fee of 8%. So it's $405 for the day. And that includes the deckhand, me, the boat, all the rods and reels that you need, all the tackle, and the bait. And you just bring anything you want to eat and drink. And it's only 4 people per boat. Have I ever heard of Cast and Crank podcast? Nope. I know there's a lot of podcasts out there, but I haven't heard of it. David, what's the best place to catch halibut from the beach? Wherever there's a bunch of barred surf birds, because that's what they're eating. Really, the best time to fish for halibut off the beach is when the grunion are running, because that definitely brings all the halibut up tight to the beach. That's normally like in May and June. Cameron, have I caught a tuna this year? I caught a couple of tuna, but not in California. I caught in Mexico. I did have 2 tuna next to the boat on my last trip, and they got away. So when you see the video, you'll see what happened. I kind of overreacted. I shouldn't have, because I lose fish. It wasn't the deckhand's fault. He tried. He just didn't get lucky. So, but I've lost fish before. I'll lose fish again. Tyler, how many fish did I get on the island spirit trip? I got 4 legal calicos, I think. 3 legal barracuda. I think like 6 or 7 whitefish. A bunch of short calicos, and I think 4 short barracuda. The legal barracuda were really nice. I caught them on Magic Metal Lights. So I should show the video, put the video up. But I was using the MM5, the smaller one. And the barracudas ate them. Even the calicos ate them. So it was pretty good. It was a great trip. We had perfect weather. It wasn't rough at all on the way over. It was, a little bit of a swell going north. But on the way back, it was like glass all the way home. And it was really good. It was nice. It was nice not to have to just spend the day rock fishing. And it was really good surface fishing. So I have a trip at the end of the month, 27th, 28th, on the Coral Sea. So that one will be fill the freezer time. We'll be catching a bunch of rockfish from that. I don't know. Maybe they're going to decide to go inside and fish. What side of Santa Cruz did we fish? We fished the front side. Well, I'm glad that you guys appreciate these. Thank you, Drop Dead Fred, for that comment. Charlotte bought an MM5 squid. If you ordered it last night, it went out today. Because anything that was ordered in the last 2 days, I dropped off at the post office today, or I came home. So hopefully you'll have it next day or two. But the post office, who knows? I mean, I ordered something from Cyprus, which is only like 4 cities away from my office in Cerritos, and it took 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I could have walked to Cyprus and back and picked it up in less time. So hopefully you'll get in time. So Mike Gonzalez says that the bluefin tuna in Monterey are running 130 pounds. Jeff, you got to run your boat up there. You can make it in a day. Just go around the point and keep going north. You need big gear for that. Jeff would be the person to answer that question, and you're going to need 2-speed reel probably. I mean, we used to catch 100-pound fish with pin 6.0s and 4.0s that were just 1 speed, and we didn't have Spectra and all that stuff. So I guess you really don't need a 2-speed reel, but a 2-speed reel would make it easier. Tyler, how many fish did you get on your East Cape trip? I'm curious. Tyler, it really depends on what you want to fish for. I caught 2 marlin the first day. The second day I caught 1 marlin. I just went with a friend on his charter. So he caught a marlin, I caught a marlin. And I think we caught 2 little Dorados. And then the first day, I really went for roosterfish. And we saw a bunch of roosterfish. We were in the area where the roosterfish were. And I saw the roosterfish come up behind my bait. And every time I thought I was going to catch a roosterfish, a Jack Crevalle ran in front of it and ate my bait. So I got 4 or 5 really nice big Jack Crevalles, which you'll see on the video. But I didn't get that roosterfish. But it's always different. I mean, there's some people that don't go offshore and they just fish close to the beach and just fish roosters all the time. And then they go fish for pargos and cabrillas and stuff like that in the rocks. And then there's other people that just stay offshore. They only want to catch a marlin. They only want to catch a sailfish. So it isn't really like a numbers game like that. Everybody just kind of does what they want to do. Yeah, my freezer always has fish in it. There was people the other day walking their dog over by my house. Never met them before. Asked them if they wanted some fish because I needed to make some room. And gave them some fish. I made some new friends. Where are all the tuna at? They're scattered, and there isn't much bluefin. It's more yellowfin tuna. Come on, Jeff. You can run up to Monterey. You don't mind running your boat. You can, and then you can go farther north and go. You can do a combination salmon and bluefin trip, and then go inside the harbor and catch halibut, and maybe go to the back of the bay and get sturgeon, and then have a long drive back home. Go from San Francisco down. Or you could leave the boat there till the end of September, and I'll be there the last week in September for my TV show. I'll be fishing out of Emeryville. David, what's up with the yellowtail? They haven't really made a good showing yet this year. There's some yellowtail at the island, But I think they're more, the fish have been there all year. So, but there are some local yellowtails showing up. So hopefully tomorrow we will see some yellowfin. I'm sorry, we'll see some yellowtail on my half-day trip. Some of the boats I talked to did catch some yellowtail yesterday, and they said they saw them this morning. Yeah, Tyler, going to Mexico isn't so much about bringing home fish. You can bring home fish. It's not hard. I mean, you catch one 400-pound blue marlin, 200-pound blue marlin, and you can only bring 50 pounds of fish per box. So, yeah, you could bring that back with you. That would be good, Jeff. Run up to Oregon and go catch albacore. Let me know when you do that. I'll fly up there and meet you there. Yeah, I was off Santa Cruz just a couple days ago. We didn't see any tuna. I don't know anything about the swordfish. I haven't heard of any live squid available in the bay receivers, and I doubt you're going to see live squid available for a while, especially after the second hurricane. With this new hurricane coming through, it's going to really make the water really warm. So I would think, I know the commercial guys I talk to that buy the squid from the boats, and they say they have their boats working up in Monterey. So I think the squid are quite a ways up north. So Steven Garcia going on a 2-day trip in October. Ask me again first part of October or toward the end of September. I have a couple tuna trips in September, so I can give you an idea of what's working, but it just depends if it's going to be bluefin or yellowfin. If it's going to be yellowfin, you can use magic metal jigs, cast them out, work them back to the surface, and they work really, really good. So that would be good, Jeff. We could fly up there together. Do you have a plane too, or do you fly commercial? Just asking because I know how big your boat. Well, I really don't know how big your boat is. I know you have a big boat. I know it goes fast, but I don't know if it's a 50-footer or 60-footer. I just know it's a big boat. This Carnage tied up in Long Beach. 49-foot boat. That's still a big boat. Cool. Mine's only 33. I guess overall length it's almost 35, but Lewis, do you recommend casting a flat fall straight off? Now you always want to have some leader material, some monofilament on there. You don't want to go straight off the spectrum. 54, that's a nice boat. So that's a question I've never heard before. Will the bluefin or the yellowfin hit frozen squid? I mean, eat frozen shrimp. I have seen shrimp in their bellies in Hawaii, but never seen anyone use. I have no idea. When you saw the shrimp in their bellies, was that like in a restaurant where they rolled up the fish and cooked it that way, or where you were filleting fish and you saw that? Okay, Eric, I'm glad you're feeling better. Good evening. And I will see you on the gale force on Thursday. Remember, 5:30, be on the boat, please. It's the old ports of call. Enjoy the free parking there until they do the construction, then we're going to lose the free parking. Okay, guys, again, so if anyone's looking to a private charter, I have Friday and Saturday available. I would think by Saturday somebody's going to call. I mean, I got lots of phone calls this week asking about trips, so I would think Saturday was going to sell. So there's the link to my website. So there's a link to my website there. If you guys would like to book a private charter, get some of your friends together. I take 4 persons max on my boat, and the fishing's been really good. So if you want to run to Catalina, if you want to do a local half-day trip, whatever you're interested in, we could do that. And those of you that need help learning about fishing, we could do like a school type of trip where, you know, part of it is just straight fishing, and the other part of it is learning about fishing, and then we can do some fishing too. Yeah, Tyler, there's no bluefin in the East Cape. The water is like in the 80s down there. Sometimes the water is so warm down there, it's hard to catch any fish down there. So you never know. Mike, I've noticed you use bucktails with the grub. I use the big bucktail with the single tail grub when I'm fishing for yellowtail and when I'm fishing for lingcod. When I'm not fishing for those two fish, then I pretty much use the bucktail by itself with the whole squid or strips of squid on it. And when I'm not fishing for those two fish, I fish it like that for yellowtail, for white sea bass, for halibut, calico bass, sand bass, sculpin, just a little bit of everything. So it works out good. All right, guys, it's been over an hour, so I got to get ready for tomorrow's trip. Got to make my lunch for tomorrow, get everything ready, do all that, get to bed in a while. So I will say good night. If some of you want to get some more raffle tickets, we'll do the raffle maybe Thursday. We get some more people buy tickets. If not, we'll do it next Tuesday. But here's a link for the raffle tickets. Thanks, Jeff. Should be good tomorrow. The fishing's been really good. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get more fish. Hopefully we run into some yellowtail too. And I won't forget the Arctic ice blocks already in the freezer. And that's kind of a selfish thing just because I hate stopping on the way to the boat. I just like to go from my house straight to the boat. And I already got gas from my truck for tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about that. And just go straight. And got the Arctic ice blocks. All right, guys. Talk to you later. And see you on Thursday. Thursday, I'll give you a report from yesterday's trip and how we did on the gale force at Catalina. Bye, everybody.